Hello there, and welcome to Quiz Bible, the place where we put your biblical knowledge to the test. I'm so glad you've joined us for this enlightening journey. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Show your support by clicking the like button and type Amen to show your faith. Let us know how well you did by leaving a comment at the end. It's a great way to engage with fellow quiz takers and share your experiences. So, let's embark on this biblical adventure with Quiz Bible. Question 1. In which book does the prophet Zephaniah emphasize the coming day of the Lord and the judgment of nations? A. Zephaniah. B. Haggai. C. Zechariah. D. Obadiah. The right answer is letter A. The great day of the Lord is near, near and coming quickly. The cry on the day of the Lord is bitter. The mighty warrior shouts his battle cry. That day will be a day of wrath, a day of distress and anguish, a day of trouble and ruin, a day of darkness and gloom. Question 2. Who was the Persian king mentioned in the book of Haggai during the time of the Israelite return from exile? A. Cyrus. B. Darius. C. Xerxes. D. Artaxerxes. The right answer is letter B. In the second year of King Darius, in the 6th month, on the first day of the month, the word of the Lord came by the hand of Haggai the prophet to Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, governor of Judah. Question 3. What symbolic act did the prophet Zechariah perform to represent the coming of the Messiah in Zechariah 9:9? A. Riding a chariot. B. Wearing a crown of thorns. C. Riding a donkey. D. Carrying a staff. The right answer is letter C. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, daughter of Jerusalem. See, your king comes to you, righteous and victorious, lowly and riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of a donkey. Question 4. Which feast does the prophet Zechariah mention as being kept in the future when all nations come to worship the Lord? A. Passover. B. Tabernacles. C. Pentecost. D. Atonement. The right answer is letter B. Then the survivors from all the nations that have attacked Jerusalem will go up year after year to worship the King, the Lord Almighty, and to celebrate the Festival of Tabernacles. Question 5. Who was the father of many nations? And his name was changed from Abram to this? A. Israel. B. Isaac. C. Jacob. D. Abraham. The right answer is letter D. As for me, behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be a father of many nations. No longer shall your name be called Abram, but your name shall be Abraham. For I have made you a father of many nations. Question 6. Which dreamer in the book of Genesis saw 11 stars bowing down to him, symbolizing his future prominence? A. Joseph. B. Benjamin. C. Judah. D. Reuben. The right answer is letter A. Then he dreamed still another dream and told it to his brothers, and said, "Look, I have dreamed another dream, and this time the sun, the moon, and the 11 stars bowed down to me. So he told it to his father and his brothers. Question 7. What famous duo in Genesis were known for their colorful coat and their role in the story of Joseph? A. Cain and Abel. B. Adam and Eve. C. Joseph and Benjamin. D. Potiphar and his wife. The right answer is letter C. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age. Also, he made him a tunic of many colors. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peaceably to him. Question 8. Which city was destroyed by God due to its wickedness, and Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt when she looked back? A. Nineveh. B. Adam. C. Babylon. D. Sodom. The right answer is letter D. Then the Lord rained brimstone and fire on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. So he overthrew those cities, all the plain, all the inhabitants of the cities, and what grew on the ground. Question 9. What was the name of Abraham's wife who miraculously gave birth to Isaac in her old age? A. Rachel. B. Sarah. C. Rebecca. D. Leah. The right answer is letter B. Then God said to Abraham, "As for Sarai, your wife, you shall not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name." Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed and said in his heart, "Shall a child be born to a man who is 100 years old?" Question 10. Who wrestled with a mysterious figure by the Jabbok River and received a new name? Israel. A. Abraham. B. Isaac. C. Jacob. D. Esau. The right answer is letter C. Then Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of day. Now when he saw that he did not prevail against him, he touched the socket of his hip, and the socket of Jacob's hip was out of joint as he wrestled with him. Question 11. Which son of Jacob was sold into slavery by his jealous brothers, but later became a high-ranking official in Egypt? A. Benjamin. B. Joseph. C. Judah. D. Levi. The right answer is letter B. So it came to pass, when Joseph had come to his brothers, that they stripped Joseph of his tunic, the tunic of many colors that was on him. Then Midianite traders passed by. Question 12. What was the purpose of the tower built in the city of Babel, leading to the confusion of languages? A. To reach the heavens. B. To worship idols. C. To store grain. D. To house the king. The right answer is letter A. Now the whole earth had one language and one speech, and they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower whose top is in the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves." Question 13. Who led the Israelites across the Red Sea, parting the waters with a staff? A. Moses. B. Joshua. C. Aaron. D. David. The right answer is letter A. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea into dry land, and the waters were divided. Question 14. Which biblical figure is known for his wisdom and authored the book of Proverbs? A. Job. B. Daniel. C. Elijah. D. Solomon. The right answer is letter D. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, judgment, and equity. Question 15. Which biblical figure is often referred to as the father of faith and had a son named Isaac? A. Abraham. B. Jacob. C. Isaac. D. Joseph. The right answer is letter A. As for me, behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall be a father of many nations. No longer shall your name be called Abram, but your name shall be Abraham, for I have made you a father of many nations. Question 16. What miraculous event happened on the day of Pentecost in the New Testament? A. Jesus' resurrection. B. Speaking in tongues. C. Feeding the 5,000. D. The Last Supper. The right answer is letter B. When the day of Pentecost had fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven, as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled the whole house where they were sitting. Question 17. Who betrayed Jesus with a kiss in the Garden of Gethsemane? A. Peter. B. James. C. Judas Iscariot. D. John. The right answer is letter C. And while he was still speaking, behold, Judas, one of the 12, with a great multitude with swords and clubs, came from the chief priests and elders of the people. Question 18. What did Jesus turn water into at the wedding in Cana? A. Oil. B. Wine. C. Milk. D. Honey. The right answer is letter B. Jesus said to them, "Fill the water pots with water," and they filled them up to the brim. And he said to them, "Draw some out now and take it to the master of the feast." And they took it. Question 19. Which woman famously danced for King Herod and requested the head of John the Baptist? A. Mary Magdalene. B. Bathsheba. C. Salome. D. Ruth. The right answer is letter C. But when Herod's birthday was celebrated, the daughter of Herodias danced before them and pleased Herod. Therefore, he promised with an oath to give her whatever she might ask. Question 20. Who was the giant Philistine warrior defeated by the young shepherd David with a sling and a stone? A. Goliath. B. Samson. C. Saul. D. Jonathan. The right answer is letter A. Then David put his hand in his bag and took out a stone, and he slung it and struck the Philistine in his forehead, so that the stone sank into his forehead, and he fell on his face to the earth. Question 21. Who was the first king of Israel chosen by the prophet Samuel? A. Saul. B. David. C. Solomon. D. Jonathan. The right answer is letter A. Now the Lord had told Samuel in his ear the day before Saul came, saying, "Tomorrow about this time I will send you a man from the land of Benjamin, and you shall anoint him commander over my people Israel." Question 22. What miraculous event happened when the Israelites marched around the city of Jericho? A. The river Jordan dried up. B. It rained manna. C. The walls collapsed. D. Fire fell from the sky. The right answer is letter C. So the people shouted when the priests blew the trumpets, and it happened when the people heard the sound of the trumpet, and the people shouted with a great shout, that the wall fell down flat. Question 23. Who was known for killing a lion with his bare hands? A. David. B. Samson. C. Solomon. D. Elijah. The right answer is letter B. So Samson went down to Timnah with his father and mother and came to the vineyards of Timnah. Now to his surprise, a young lion came roaring against him, and the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him. Question 24. Who interpreted dreams for Pharaoh in Egypt, predicting 7 years of plenty followed by 7 years of famine? A. Daniel. B. Joseph. C. Ezra. D. Nehemiah. The right answer is letter B. Then Joseph said to Pharaoh, "The dreams of Pharaoh are one. God has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good cows are 7 years, and the 7 good heads are 7 years. The dreams are one." Question 25. Which prophet was known for marrying a prostitute as a symbol of God's relationship with unfaithful Israel? A. Amos. B. Micah. C. Joel. D. Hosea. The right answer is letter D. When the Lord began to speak by Hosea, the Lord said to Hosea, "Go, take yourself a wife of harlotry and children of harlotry, for the land has committed great harlotry by departing from the Lord." Question 26. Who was the king who wrote many of the Psalms found in the Bible? A. David. B. Solomon. C. Hezekiah. D. Asa. The right answer is letter A. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Question 27. What was the name of the city where Paul encountered a riot due to the worship of the goddess Artemis? A. Athens. B. Ephesus. C. Corinth. D. Thessalonica. The right answer is letter B. About that time, there arose a great disturbance about the way. A silversmith named Demetrius, who made silver shrines of Artemis, brought in a lot of business for the craftsmen there. Question 28. Who interpreted dreams for Pharaoh in Egypt, leading to his rise to power? A. Ezekiel. B. Daniel. C. Joseph. D. Jeremiah. The right answer is letter C. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they quickly brought him out of the pit. And when he had shaved himself and changed his clothes, he came in before Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, "I have had a dream, and there is no one who can interpret it." Question 29. Which prophet saw a vision of wheels within wheels, representing the glory of God? A. Isaiah. B. Amos. C. Ezekiel. D. Malachi. The right answer is letter C. This was the appearance and structure of the wheels. They sparkled like topaz, and all four looked alike. Each appeared to be made like a wheel intersecting a wheel. As they moved, they would go in any one of the four directions the creatures faced. Question 30. What was the name of the man who replaced Judas Iscariot among the disciples? A. Matthias. B. Barnabas. C. Silas. D. Timothy. The right answer is letter A. So, one of the men who have accompanied us during all the time that the Lord Jesus went in and out among us, beginning from the baptism of John until the day when he was taken up from us. One of these men must become with us a witness to his resurrection. 31. Who was the first king of Israel anointed by the prophet Samuel? A. David. B. Saul. C. Solomon. D. Jonathan. The right answer is letter B. Then Samuel took a flask of oil and poured it on his head and kissed him and said, "Has not the Lord anointed you to be prince over his people Israel? And you shall reign over the people of the Lord, and you will save them from the hand of their surrounding enemies." 32. Which woman in the Bible was known for her wisdom and visited King Solomon? A. Deborah. B. Ruth. C. Esther. D. Sheba. The right answer is letter D. Now when the Queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon concerning the name of the Lord, she came to test him with hard questions. She came to Jerusalem with a very great retinue, with camels bearing spices and very much gold and precious stones. 33. Who was the father of John the Baptist? A. Zechariah. B. Simeon. C. Eli. D. Joachim. The right answer is letter A. But the angel said to him, "Do not be afraid, Zechariah, for your prayer has been heard, and your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you shall call his name John. And you will have joy and gladness, and many will rejoice at his birth, for he will be great before the Lord." 34. What was the occupation of the Apostle Matthew before becoming a disciple of Jesus? A. Fisherman. B. Tax collector. C. Carpenter. D. Physician. The right answer is letter B. As Jesus passed on from there, he saw a man called Matthew sitting at the tax booth, and he said to him, "Follow me." And he rose and followed him. And as Jesus reclined at the table in the house, behold, many tax collectors and sinners came and were reclining with Jesus. 35. Who was the mother of the twins Esau and Jacob in the Old Testament? A. Leah. B. Rachel. C. Rebecca. D. Sarah. The right answer is letter C. And Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord granted his prayer, and Rebekah his wife conceived. The children struggled together within her, and she said, "If it is thus, why is this happening to me?" 36. Who was the prophet that confronted King David about his sin with Bathsheba? A. Isaiah. B. Nathan. C. Samuel. D. Elijah. The right answer is letter B. And the Lord sent Nathan to David. He came to him and said to him, "There were two men in a certain city, the one rich and the other poor. The rich man had very many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing but one little ewe lamb, which he had bought." 37. What was the name of the city where Jesus was born? A. Capernaum, B. Jerusalem, C. Nazareth, D. Bethlehem. The right answer is letter D. Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? 38. Which disciple walked on water briefly with Jesus before doubting and sinking? A. James, B. Andrew, C. Peter, D. Thomas. The right answer is letter C. And Peter answered him, Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water. He said, Come. So Peter got out of the boat and walked on the water and came to Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid. And beginning to sink, he cried out, Lord, save me. 39. Who was the high priest at the time of Jesus' trial and crucifixion? A. Caiaphas, B. Annas, C. Gamaliel, D. Nicodemus. The right answer is letter A. Then those who had seized Jesus led him to Caiaphas the high priest, where the scribes and the elders had gathered. And Peter was following him at a distance, as far as the courtyard of the high priest, and going inside, he sat with the guards to see the end. 40. Who was the king that sought to kill the infant Jesus, leading to the flight to Egypt? A. Herod Antipas, B. Herod Archelaus, C. Herod Agrippa, D. Herod the Great. The right answer is letter D. Then Herod, when he saw that he had been tricked by the wise men, became furious. And he sent and killed all the male children in Bethlehem and in all that region who were 2 years old or under, according to the time that he had ascertained from the wise men. 41. Which disciple is known as the disciple whom Jesus loved and authored the Gospel of John? A. Peter, B. James, C. John, D. Andrew. The right answer is letter C. Peter turned and saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following them, the one who also had leaned back against him during the supper and had said, Lord, who is it that is going to betray you? 42. Who was the woman at the well to whom Jesus revealed that he was the Messiah? A. Mary Magdalene, B. Samaritan woman, C. Martha, D. Mary of Bethany. The right answer is letter B. The woman said to him, I know that Messiah is coming, he who is called Christ. When he comes, he will tell us all things. Jesus said to her, I who speak to you am he. Just then his disciples came back. 43. Which king of Israel was known for his wisdom and building the first temple in Jerusalem? A. Solomon. B. David. C. Rehoboam. D. Hezekiah. The right answer is letter A. In the 480th year after the people of Israel came out of the land of Egypt, in the 4th year of Solomon's reign over Israel, in the month of Ziv, which is the 2nd month, he began to build the house of the Lord. 44. Who was the mother of Samuel, the prophet, who dedicated him to the service of God? A. Hannah. B. Leah. C. Ruth. D. Bathsheba. The right answer is letter A. For this child I prayed, and the Lord has granted me my petition that I made to him. Therefore I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he lives, he is lent to the Lord. And he worshipped the Lord there. 45. Which prophet is often associated with the image of a weeping prophet due to his sorrow for Judah? A. Isaiah. B. Jeremiah. C. Ezekiel. D. Daniel. The right answer is letter B. Oh, that my head were waters, and my eyes a fountain of tears, that I might weep day and night for the slain of the daughter of my people. Oh, that I had in the desert a traveler's lodging place. 46. What was the name of the city destroyed by God's wrath due to its wickedness, where Lot's wife turned into a pillar of salt? A. Zoar. B. John. C. Sodom. D. Jericho. The right answer is letter C. Then the Lord rained on Sodom and Gomorrah sulfur and fire from the Lord out of heaven, and he overthrew those cities, and all the valley, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and what grew on the ground. 47. Who was the first martyr in the New Testament, stoned to death for his faith in Christ? A. Stephen. B. Philip. C. Barnabas. D. James. The right answer is letter A. And as they were stoning Stephen, he called out, "Lord Jesus, receive my spirit." And falling to his knees, he cried out with a loud voice, "Lord, do not hold this sin against them." And when he had said this, he fell asleep. 48. Which Old Testament character is known for his patience and endurance through various trials? A. Elijah. B. Jonah. C. Job. D. Amos. The right answer is letter C. Then Job arose and tore his robe and shaved his head and fell on the ground and worshipped. And he said, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away." 49. Who was the king of Babylon who saw the writing on the wall during the feast? A. Nebuchadnezzar. B. Belshazzar, C. Cyrus, D. Darius. The right answer is letter B. King Belshazzar made a great feast for 1,000 of his lords and drank wine in front of the 1,000. And this is the writing that was inscribed: Mene, Mene, Tekel, and Parsin. 50. What is the name of Mary's husband? A. Joseph, B. Zacharias, C. Joachim, D. Eli. The right answer is letter A. Now, the birth of Jesus Christ took place in this way. When his mother Mary had been betrothed to Joseph, before they came together, she was found to be with child from the Holy Spirit. 51. To which city did Mary and Joseph travel for the census before Jesus' birth? A. Egypt, B. Jerusalem, C. Nazareth, D. Bethlehem. The right answer is letter D. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, from the town of Nazareth, to Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be registered with Mary, his betrothed, who was with child. 52. What was the name of Mary's sister who is mentioned in the Bible? A. Miriam, B. Salome, C. Martha, D. Mary Magdalene. The right answer is letter C. Now, as they went on their way, Jesus entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house, and she had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching. 53. What disciple doubted Jesus' resurrection until he could see and touch the wounds? A. Thomas, B. James, C. John, D. Philip. The right answer is letter A. Now Thomas, one of the 12, called the twin, was not with them when Jesus came. So the other disciples told him, "We have seen the Lord." But he said to them, "Unless I see in his hands the mark of the nails, and place my finger into the mark of the nails." 54. Who survived being thrown into a den of lions? A. Daniel, B. Shadrach, C. Meshach, D. Abednego. The right answer is letter A. Then the king commanded, and Daniel was brought and cast into the den of lions. The king declared to Daniel, "May your God, whom you serve continually, deliver you." And a stone was brought and laid on the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his Lord. 55. What event is known as the Transfiguration, where Jesus' appearance changed on a mountain and Moses and Elijah appeared with him? A. The Mount of Olives. B. The Mount of Transfiguration. C. Mount Sinai. D. Mount Moriah. The right answer is letter B. Now, after 6 days, Jesus took Peter, James, and John, his brother, led them up on a high mountain by themselves, and he was transfigured before them. 56. Which event involves Peter walking on water to Jesus but starts sinking when he takes his eyes off Jesus? A. The calming of the storm. B. The feeding of the 5,000. C. The Sermon on the Mount. D. The miraculous catch of fish. The right answer is letter A. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water. So he said, Come. And when Peter had come down out of the boat, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. 57. During which event did God provide manna from heaven to sustain the Israelites in the wilderness? A. The Exodus. B. The Battle of Jericho. C. The Last Supper. D. The temptation in the wilderness. The right answer is letter A. And when the layer of dew lifted, there on the surface of the wilderness was a small round substance, as fine as frost on the ground. So when the children of Israel saw it, they said to one another, What is it? 58. What event is symbolized by the tearing of the veil in the temple when Jesus died on the cross? A. The resurrection. B. The crucifixion. C. The ascension. D. The baptism of Jesus. The right answer is letter B. And Jesus cried out again with a loud voice and yielded up his spirit. Then, behold, the veil of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth quaked, and the rocks were split. 59. Which king of Judah, known for his reforms and discovery of the book of the law, ruled at the age of 8? A. Manasseh. B. Hezekiah. C. Jehoiakim. D. Josiah. The right answer is letter D. Josiah was 8 years old when he became king, and he reigned 31 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jedidah, the daughter of Adiah of Bozkath. 60. Who was the faithful friend of David, known for his loyalty and courage in battle, even facing a giant Philistine? A. Abner. B. Jonathan. C. Joab. D. Uriah. The right answer is letter B. Now, when he had finished speaking to Saul, the soul of Jonathan was knit to the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant, because he loved him as his own soul. 61. Which Old Testament prophet taken up to heaven in a whirlwind mentored Elisha and performed miracles? A. Isaiah. B. Ezekiel. C. Elijah. D. Daniel. The right answer is letter C. Then it happened, as they continued on and talked, that suddenly a chariot of fire appeared with horses of fire and separated the two of them. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. 62. Who was the tax collector called by Jesus to be his disciple, later writing one of the Gospels in the New Testament? A. Luke. B. Mark. C. Matthew. D. John. The right answer is letter C. As Jesus passed on from there, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the tax office, and he said to him, "Follow me." So he arose and followed him. 63. What event involves the angel Gabriel announcing to Mary that she would conceive the Son of God by the Holy Spirit? A. The flight to Egypt. B. The visitation. C. The nativity. D. The Annunciation. The right answer is letter D. Then the angel said to her, "Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. And behold, you will conceive in your womb and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Jesus." 64. During which event did Paul and Silas pray and sing hymns in prison, leading to an earthquake that freed them? A. The stoning of Stephen. B. The conversion of Lydia. C. Paul's shipwreck. D. The Philippian jailer. The right answer is letter D. But at midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the prisoners were listening to them. Suddenly there was a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken. 65. Which event is known for the gathering of believers in Jerusalem, receiving the Holy Spirit and speaking in different languages? A. The Day of Atonement. B. The Day of Pentecost. C. The Day of Trumpets. D. The Day of Jubilee. The right answer is letter B. When the day of Pentecost had fully come, they were all with one accord in one place, and suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled the whole house where they were sitting. 66. What event involves Jesus cleansing the temple, overturning tables, and driving out those buying and selling? A. The triumphal entry. B. The Last Supper. C. The cleansing of the temple. D. The baptism of Jesus. The right answer is letter C. Then Jesus went into the temple of God and drove out all those who bought and sold in the temple, and overturned the tables of the money changers and the seats of those who sold doves. 67. During which event did Jesus teach the disciples the Lord's Prayer as a model for how to pray? A. The Sermon on the Mount. B. The Mount of Transfiguration. C. The Last Supper. D. The Ascension. The right answer is letter A. In this manner, therefore, pray, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. 68. Which event is associated with the two disciples encountering the risen Jesus on the road to Emmaus? A. The road to Emmaus. B. The Great Commission. C. The feeding of the 5,000. D. The raising of Lazarus. The right answer is letter A. Now it came to pass, as he sat at the table with them, that he took bread, blessed and broke it, and gave it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they knew him, and he vanished from their sight. 69. Who was the prophet who faced off against the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel, calling down fire from heaven? A. Isaiah. B. Elisha. C. Elijah. D. Jeremiah. The right answer is letter C. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood and the stones and the dust, and it licked up the water that was in the trench. Now when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, The Lord, He is God. 70. Which judge, known for his incredible strength, fell in love with Delilah? A. Gideon. B. Jephthah. C. Samson. D. Deborah. The right answer is letter C. Afterward it happened that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah, and the lords of the Philistines came up to her and said to her, Entice him, and find out where his great strength lies, and by what means we may overpower him, that we may bind him to afflict him. 71. Who was the first king of Israel, anointed by the prophet Samuel, but later rejected by God for disobedience? A. Saul. B. David. C. Solomon. D. Jonathan. The right answer is letter A, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of the Lord, He also has rejected you from being king. 72. Which wise and wealthy king, known for building the temple in Jerusalem, asked for wisdom? A. Rehoboam. B. Solomon. C. Jeroboam. D. Hezekiah. The right answer is letter B. Therefore, give to your servant an understanding heart to judge your people, that I may discern between good and evil. For who is able to judge this great people of yours? 73. Who was the Moabite woman who became the great-grandmother of King David and an ancestor of Jesus? A. Rahab. B. Naomi. C. Esther. D. Ruth. The right answer is letter D. Also, the neighbor women gave him a name, saying, "There is a son born to Naomi," and they called his name Obed. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David. 74. Which event involves the parting of the Red Sea? A. The Exodus. B. The conquest of Canaan. C. The Tower of Babel. D. The covenant with Abraham. The right answer is letter A. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night, and made the sea into dry land, and the waters were divided. 75. During what event did Jesus raise Lazarus from the dead, prompting the Pharisees to plot against him? A. The raising of Lazarus. B. The widow's son at Nain. C. The healing of Jairus' daughter. D. The healing of the blind man. The right answer is letter A. Now when he had said these things, he cried with a loud voice, "Lazarus, come forth." And he who had died came out bound hand and foot with grave clothes, and his face was wrapped with a cloth. Jesus said to them, "Loose him and let him go." 76. Which event is depicted in the parable of the prodigal son, highlighting the father's joyful reception of his wayward son? A. The Good Samaritan. B. The prodigal son. C. The rich man and Lazarus. D. The mustard seed. The right answer is letter B. And he arose and came to his father. But when he was still a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion, and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. "For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." And they began to be merry. 77. In what event did God confuse human language and scatter people across the earth, leading to the formation of different nations? A. The Exodus. B. The day of Pentecost. C. The Tower of Babel. D. The Great Flood. The right answer is letter C. Come, let us go down, and there confuse their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. Therefore its name is called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth. And from there the Lord scattered them abroad over the face of all the earth. 78. During which event did Jesus perform his first public miracle by turning water into wine at a wedding in Cana? A. The wedding at Cana. B. The Last Supper. C. The Sermon on the Mount. D. The feeding of the 5,000. The right answer is letter A. On the third day, there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Now both Jesus and his disciples were invited to the wedding. And when they ran out of wine, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." 79. Who was the prophetess and judge who led Israel to victory over the Canaanites? A. Miriam. B. Huldah. C. Deborah. D. Anna. The right answer is letter C. Now Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, was judging Israel at that time, and she would sit under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in the mountains of Ephraim. And the children of Israel came up to her for judgment. Wow, that was quite a journey, wasn't it? If you found this quiz enriching, please express your support by clicking the like button. Hit the subscribe button below. We're eager to have you join us again. Now, before you go, take a moment to tell us how you performed on the quiz. Share your results in the comments section. Thank you for participating in Quiz Bible, and we can't wait to see you in the next exciting quizzes.